What is good, everybody? It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. What a day, what a day, what a day, what a day. A lot of interesting football news around the world. And the biggest question of all is, why does Ringo have on sunglasses? What? What's happening? And you sound like a robot all of a sudden. What the heck happened to you?
What the heck?
Oh, now you're back. All right, you're good. You're good. You're good. I don't know. It's just like that mic situation on PlayStation. By the way, the PlayStation.
A lot of people going to jail.
It was a good run. We had a good
run.
It
was a good run.
Look, hey, we're all getting canceled out here. Understand.
There will be no show at June 11th.
The show will finally be Joel and the Breeze. Shout out to super producer Joel Holt, of course, the man formerly known as Ringo J. Stefan the Don in the building, boys. We got a lot of Chicago Bears news to get into on this episode. I mean, the firing of Luke Gesty, we talked about that when it came out over on the channel, but getting you guys' thoughts on it, the retention of Matt Eberflus, and the comments from Ryan Poles on Jim Harbaugh that I think are huge, where he says he never talked to Jim Harbaugh or anybody pertaining to looking at head coaching options outside of the building. Got a lot to get into. There's a lot to unpack there. All that and more in today's episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. I need y'all stop playing around. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the page, man. We do talk Chicago sports daily on this channel. Only channel talking Chicago sports, how Chicago talk. So make sure that you get in tune with us, boys. What's going on with you, man? How are you guys feeling on this football news day? Listen, Carroll gets fired. Saban retires. It's a wild day out here.
It's a lot of stuff going on, man. Saban retiring is the one for me that I feel like is low key going under the radar.
I don't know if it's going under the radar. We just don't care about it here in Chicago as much.
Yeah, I mean,
it doesn't. I think he's had his time. You know, he's 72. Yeah, it doesn't last forever. That dominance after a while it fades out. So I mean, Alabama. I mean, they've been kind of struggling these last couple of years. So, other teams, I mean, hey, Deion's coming, Deion shining. Sounds like Harbaugh. Now he's winning.
Hey, listen. I ain't gonna lie to you. If Deion goes to Alabama, he can't come with the, God told me to come here. Be like, nah, bro, the 150 million told you to come to Alabama, bro.
I don't mean it that. I mean it more like the recruits. It's more about pulling, once, Saban was mad in the last few years. He was mad when he lost that one recruit.
Because he when he lost Travis.
Yeah.
His downfall was not going into the transfer portal.
Yeah, but anyways, we don't care about them.
He's old.
We don't care about that, man.
He's old.
Gesty is gone.
Luke Gesty has been fired as the Chicago Bears offensive coordinator. I thought it was very interesting, some of the comments, and really, to me, opens up the dialogue about Justin Fields, of course, the future of Justin Fields in this city. When Matt Eberflus was asked about it, he said, a good offensive play caller knows how to adapt and adjust the scheme to their quarterback throughout the season. And I mean, listen, I don't think that there's any surprise in any of us that what we saw was not enough. I don't think that there's any surprise in any of us that what we saw from the Chicago Bears offensively wasn't enough, and that it just seemed like at times they wanted to continue to drop Justin back like he was a drop back quarterback, and they wanted him to just be able to go out there and play quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, and he's not that style of quarterback. When you hear those comments from Flus, when you see the removal of Gesty, what does that say to you about kind of, I guess, the standard that this team is trying to put in place here?
When you hear Kevin Warren's comments, first of all, I thought he did a very good job.
Kevin Warren won me over with a press conference, and I hate it.
Yeah,
I feel like him and Ryan Poles definitely did a good job.
Yeah.
So I think, but what he spoke about was, look, it takes time to build a team. I've been saying that. I've been saying it's the aircraft carrier. It just doesn't turn on a dime. The issue that we had was I definitely want Eberflus gone in the sense of I didn't like some of his head coaching decisions. Yeah. On top of I didn't like the Gesty stuff as well. If he basically saved his job because, look, the foundation of this defense has been built. You see what we're doing. And technically, they're not wrong. If the offense, if they had a running game that could that could eat up the clock a little bit more. If they had a better offensive production, they could save this defense, because to me, that was the key. That's why we lost the Lovey defense. If you don't have a consistent offense, if we can at least establish a ground game and eat up the clock, so for them to say, okay, look, we've seen some issues, and they cleaned house. They cleaned all of the coaches on the offensive side are gone.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I applaud that they said, okay, we see some things. And he said, we're building this. The foundation is there. So to me, that means that we're keeping the same type of scheme, and that they're probably going to keep Fields, because they're trying to win based off of this. So that's what I think.
Yeah, I'm definitely with Joel on this. Just a couple of notes that I took down. Poles definitely loves the improvement that he's seen from Justin. Kept talking about the young roster that they're building. One thing that he did point out is that from day one, he's always wanted to win the division, and he thinks that they're moving in that direction. The comments that he made about the OC being adaptable to the talent that he has on the field, pretty much to me signaled that Justin's gonna be here, and y'all gonna have to figure it out, because he's got the stuff to lead this team in the right direction, which is literally verbatim what he said. He feels like Justin can lead this team to where they need to go. So to me, that was all the backing that I needed to see on that. Said another thing too about the offensive line that he was talking about. Said that loved what he saw from Braxton, but he was also open to competition. So I think, just to sum that all up, like, he's looking for leaders in the building that can also give them that attitude to officially take the next step, because it's like Eberflus also said, they have the pieces on defense and offense to where anybody that you bring in should be able to take these guys to the next level. So you could tell that these guys are ready to take the next step. Now it's all about putting the right coaches and basically teachers in place to move them in that direction.
Yeah, we'll see. I think that's really what it comes down to, right? At the end of the day, and it was about teaching coaches, teaching everybody in the building, right? And I look at teaching the quarterback position. How can you teach the quarterback position if you're not able to? It sounds like it wasn't just teaching Justin that was the issue. Yeah. Right. It sounds like maybe this went through some of the coaching staff, the quarterback coach possibly. And that's why Gesty and his staff was removed from that situation. Right. And the one person that did end up staying is Simo. I think that's going to make things a little bit harder, right? Because you're bringing in an offensive coordinator into a situation where he doesn't get to pick his tight ends coach. He doesn't get to pick his offensive line coach. He's got it's like telling a head coach to come in and is like, hey, you get to work with Luke Gesty and Alan Williams, and you get to go out there and figure it out. Right? Like, no head coach is going to take that job. So I think you're making your job a little bit harder when you're talking about going out there and finding an offensive coordinator. But I guess the question now is, what kind of offensive coordinator are they looking for? What kind of offensive coordinator are they looking to go after? Because are you looking for one that's going to improve Justin Fields? Or are you looking for one that's going to go out and improve, if you do draft a quarterback, the next quarterback, right? Because the one thing that I don't want to have, and I'm not gonna lie, at this point it's kind of like I don't want that. The thing I don't want to happen is we continue to carousel. At some point we got to get off the ride. Yeah. Like, we've been on this, we're living in hell right now, right? Like we've been on this carousel of, we got the coach, we got the quarterback, coach sucks, get rid of the coach, bring a new coach, still got the quarterback, get rid of the quarterback, we got a new quarterback, we got the coach that picked the quarterback, he sucks too, get rid of him. Like, keeping on that same carousel is the most irritating thing to me that the Bears are doing. And so I don't know, right? Like, Ryan Poles wasn't committed to Justin Fields in his press conference. I saw people taking his comments and saying, like, he's all in on Fields, or the opposite, right? Like, he's all out on Fields. Here comes Caleb Williams. He was non-committal to both. He literally said, I like how Justin Fields has improved. We need to evaluate some things. He didn't even address the other. And then on the other side, he's like, listen, I have the number 1 overall draft pick, and if people want to call me about it, call.
So, but they kept positioning themselves that we improved from a 3-win to a 7. I think they're looking for actually trying to compete next year. So to me, that says they're keeping Fields. They're going to get a system in place that now remember again,
but
they can still hold on.
Who says you can't compete with a new quarterback?
Well, I don't know. Well,
you know what I mean?
Maybe.
But they were non-committal to all of it. Who says you can't? If CJ Stroud's here and we bring a different offensive coordinator in, we probably can compete.
Yeah.
You're probably right. Well, we don't know yet.
We don't know.
The point is that they're trying to compete is the thing. So does that mean that, okay, the coordinator they get, I guess nothing has been said on the offensive side of what the identity is supposed to be. Like we know that it's this cover 2. That's our defense. That is the identity that we have. So what is the offensive identity supposed to be? Has never been really stated. Mediocre self.
I'm sorry, that threw me off. MCC's just said Ringo out here looking like Dijon Wick.
I like mediocre self's comment. He said, do you have a favorite Bears game during the Fields Flus era? Mine has to be the rain game against the 49ers. Mine was actually the Patriots game which was like the coming out party for Fields. It was like, this is what we could do. It was like, this is the offense. He ran, he passed. They looked really good. That's what I've been wanting to see out of Justin Fields and this offense since that game. So that to me was my favorite.
If it's me, I have to say the Miami game. Miami game with Mike McDaniel. He was basically just showing off all the tools, but I mean, even to that point though, I mean, when he's talking about OC, talking about competing, teaching the Flus being talking about he needs to be able to teach the coaches new things as well. This kind of lends itself again to me like if he becomes available. Pat was saying Eric Bieniemy. I think that's the route that they need to go.
I think you could build a monster staff here. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I think the biggest question starts for me is what did the head coach do that makes you feel like he did a good enough job? And shout out, my God, there's one Bears beat reporter that has the cojones, and she doesn't even have cojones, as far as I know. As far as I know, I haven't. That got weird. But
are you just happy to see me?
Got to choose your words wisely in 2024. But like the one Bears beat reporter that was willing to ask questions is Courtney Cronin, and ask hard hitting questions. And she literally said, "No disrespect, Matt. I know this may come off a little awkward. Ryan, what was it that made you say that he's the answer?" Ryan Poles gave the leadership and all of the leadership questions and this is how we feel about this. And I mean, like he gave all of those questions. But at the end of the day, the results would say that you want to go better. Like no matter what you feel about what Flus has built, there's legitimately better head coaches out there.
True.
There's legitimately Mike Vrabel with worse quarterbacks is a better head coach.
Bro, you have
Jim
Ryan
Harbaugh
Tannehill.
Everywhere he's gone is a better head coach. And so it does make me ask the question on, okay, what's going on? Why are we just holding this standard at the OC level, at the quarterback level, but not at the head coach level? And I get it. Kevin Warren talked about stability. He's a big believer in stability. He said you don't want to turn away from things too quickly. And I guess there's things on Ryan on Matt Eberflus's side that do go into what this Bears team moving forward. But there's also a lot of things on his side that I say bringing other guys in fixes those things the second they walk in the building. Mindset to me, leadership to me, being able to go out there and continue to be competitive in games where even when it feels like the game is put away. Jim Harbaugh's not letting that Detroit game get away. Mike Vrabel's not letting that Detroit game get away. Yeah, I mean, like,
but it don't matter. We're stuck with this dude now. So Trust me, we all wanted Harbaugh. We wanted a clean house. We wanted a better leader. Apparently, they feel like he's improved. And so now that the hope is, okay, again, we get an OC and another DC. The problem I don't like is, again, let's say we get a great offensive coordinator. He's going to be gone probably if he's really good and going to get hired away. So you have to how do we keep a system here so we don't repeat, let's say we get the next Shanahan. And like in Atlanta, this dude was lights out. He leaves, Atlanta's in flames. This dude goes to the 49ers and he's been there. Like Sean McVay, like, are we going to find that next guy that we can keep for a while? Which is why I never wanted a defensive coordinator as a head coach. Because usually the offensive guys get plucked away, whether they're successful as a head coach or not. They have the opportunities to leave, and then you look at someone like
I don't care about the head. I care about my head coach being a leader. I don't care what side of the ball he coaches.
No, I care about having a system that stays here. I don't want a system that's hot for 2 or 3 years and then they walk out the door and we don't at least have the continuity that we can keep this going.
Yeah,
like to me, it would make sense to get someone that's still of the Shanahan tree, that we keep some of the same principles, the schemes, and all that type of stuff, so we can kind of keep some of that continuity. I'm fine with that.
My thing, one, I think you're also in a great situation, and we talked about this yesterday, but you're in a great situation where you've got some coordinators that are on the market now that are never going to get head coaching jobs. Right, like to me, I don't know if Bieniemy does, maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. Maybe you can make him some kind of promise where, hey, if this doesn't work out, we're gonna move you up into the head coaching position because we like you here. There's that connection there. Maybe there is a Greg Roman out there, right, who comes in and you got MVP season out of Lamar with that, and maybe he's able to fix things here. Maybe it's a Cliff Kingsbury. I think it's pretty well proven that Cliff Kingsbury struggled as a head coach and as a leader of a team. Now maybe he gets another opportunity because of how young he is, but there's so many situations to me that where things line up perfectly this offseason for the Bears where you can build long-term success. If you go out and you add a guy like Chico to this offense or to this defense, right, where Flus can be the CEO, Chico's probably done as a head coach. Yeah, maybe he gets another opportunity. Sure. Maybe somebody's in a position where we're like, we need the stability. But I think Chico's probably on the outs as a head coach. I think that if Bieniemy doesn't get the Washington Commanders job, he's probably not going to get another head coaching opportunity. That sucks to say to me. I want him to be a head coach. I think he would make a good head coach. But there's some disconnect that people don't believe in with him long term. I look at Greg Roman's never going to get a head coaching job, right? Those days are long past. So yeah, they just
no, that's not true because
Vic got a job.
Like in when we lost Vic Fangio, he's been a lifer. Yeah. It's like, really, we finally get a competent, amazing defensive coordinator and he's a lifer. Let's give him a head coaching job, and he just sucks in Denver. We lost our DC.
But I think that's why, right? Like, this is such an that's why I say, what is the standard? Because there are guys that are out there that are above the standard that answer even those questions. I mean, like the fact that you never talked to anybody in her, because this is not right. Like, I get it. If I'm talking to coaches in the NFL, it's different. But Jim Harbaugh's a college coach. You can talk to Jim Harbaugh's people. You can have conversations with Jim Harbaugh's people. Mm-hmm. You like to never talk to them. That was the one thing that I heard that he said, and I was like, that makes me feel like you didn't do your due diligence on that. Somebody tweeted this out earlier. I thought this was a great tweet. Had me dying. You mean we didn't consider Jim Harbaugh?
What you mean he's still here?
Shout out to Monster to try and stay, bro. Like, I gave him 2,500 points on this one. That was 2,500 points, bro. But it was so factual, bro, because it was just like, what do you mean you didn't talk to him? What do you mean you're not looking to have conversations with these guys? What do you mean you're not like there? And I get it, stability, and maybe I'll say this: is this Kevin Warren? Because Kevin Warren talked about stability a ton, and he talked about when he was with St. Louis, how you don't want to turn back. He talked about how when he was with St. Louis, how you don't want to. They were in year 2, and they were like, "This is not working." But then he took a step back and he looked at it and he was just like, all right, let's give it one more year. Let's see where this ends up going. And you
Shout out
end
to
up going
the
through the process. They win a Super Bowl. Right. Like, so maybe this is that situation, but the fact that you didn't have those conversations to me with people that you can, it's different with coaches you can't, but with people
but
that you
Pat,
can have them with, that to me was, there's always something, right? That's the one thing about what Ryan Poles said today where I was like, I don't like that.
But the problem is, this is all conjecture. Like this is the media creating this. Inside the building, no one's, they're like, look, we got a plan, we're seeing improvement. And everybody else is saying you should hire Jim Harbaugh. This is what we want versus what's actually
I was gonna say,
happening.
don't say everybody else. You was the main one playing Michigan fight song music every week.
I know. Yes, I did want him.
Hold on.
The problem is that whatever their plan is what their plan is. Like we said, well, how do we know what the vision is? What does Ryan Poles want in a quarterback? What is this type of team that they want? What is the identity that they want, that they have? He is still in year 2. This they just completed the second year of this rebuild. So we're still in rebuild mode. But they're saying we're not done with our rebuild. So why do I need to blow this up just now? So it's like it's disappointing because as a fan, trust me, I wanted Harbaugh, but that's not what we got. So let's focus on these offensive coordinators, this defensive coordinators is going to come in because that's what we do know. There's some changes coming, and they could be a better team.
Yeah.
Hey boys, we got over 100 in the chat.
100.
What's up, Breeze Nation? Dark Mind.
Hit that like button so that we can get over 200 in this mug. Hit that like button.
He said Shanahan tree is overrated. He hasn't won a Super Bowl since Mike Shanahan was coaching. I guess he got a point, but they win. But they've had success.
My favorite thing about when people say stuff like that is they just like, hey man, like with Jim Harbaugh, right? It's like,
well, that's actually
Jim
not true.
Harbaugh never won a Super Bowl. It's like, but
he's won more.
NFC title game every year and went to one. Like, I want the chip in the chair.
Well,
I want the chip in the chair.
Sean McVay won a Super Bowl. That's the Shanahan tree. So that dispels that.
Oh yeah, 2 years ago. Yeah, I forgot. Hey, yo, that's
he did. Yeah,
it's crazy how quickly we forget.
They've been how many Super Bowls?
Have y'all noticed it? I swear, I can remember sports from my childhood in the pre-internet age. Yes, I was born in pre-internet. I can remember so much stuff pre-internet, but everything post-internet is just like, bro. Like I remember stuff literally from the 2002 Chicago Bulls. I was 7.
You know why?
Bro, I forgot Sean McVay won the Super Bowl 2 years ago.
You know why? Because the news cycle, it came to you way slower. You absorbed it versus the information we get. We had so much information hits us, like right after another.
Dog,
Like
that's facts too, because I ain't gonna lie to you. When the press conference was going on, it was like Pete Carroll's fired, Nick Saban retiring. Oh God, what's happening right now? I don't know what to do.
You used to wait to get your news. You used to read in the newspaper. You absorbed it. You don't have time to absorb this stuff because it's like one thing after another.
I was flabbergasted reading the newspaper on the train in the morning.
Dog, I used to get the Sun-Times and the Tribune. Man, I love riding the train in the morning. I used to love that.
So this is my thing. I got a question for both of y'all. So also in the press conference, right? They asked a question about the locker room being behind Justin. Now I know, Pat, you said you felt like he Poles was not committal on Justin. Do y'all think that the locker room having Justin's back and the team rallying around him is going to have an effect on if he keeps Justin?
Listen,
this coming up season.
Business is business. You got business.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm keep Justin Fields, right? I want Justin Fields to be here. Ebony's on the other side in the comments. Ebony don't want Justin Fields to be here. Watch Joel a nerd because he read the newspaper.
He's like, right?
Hey, y'all be hating on the wrong stuff.
Hey, they definitely did, bro. No, I'm keep Justin, right?
Right.
But Mel Kiper, I believe he was going to get up this morning, and he was talking about how Atlanta's so in on Justin Fields they'd be willing to give up the 8th overall pick. What?
Okay,
you're right. Like so that it's I'm in on Justin Fields unless the price is right.
Shut up, boy, Steve.
And it's one of those things where with Justin Fields, you look at what he's done in the NFL. You have to evaluate all of that. And yes, the locker room matters, but the locker room matters unless you bring guys in that can immediately win.
Right.
Yeah.
If you have an opportunity, now I don't believe Courtney Cronin did a lot of research on this. Her and Jeremy Fowler put out an article talking about, how there's upwards of second round picks, high second rounders for Justin Fields, all the way down to fifth rounders, right? Like there's a lot of conjuncture on where the Chicago Bears could get a pick for Justin Fields. But if it's a situation where you literally can get 3 top 10 picks, sure. If it's a situation where you go in the next season and you can immediately start winning, sure. Because you know what? Everybody may love Justin, but everybody loves winning.
That's
Oh, so that's a
bar.
What I think is
bar. Hey,
a bar. Hey. Let me cook. No, I'm just playing. No,
let me cook.
No, but what I think is right. Like everybody's behind Justin. Justin's a great leader of this locker room. There's so many things, but if you come out next season and you've got the number 1 overall pick, you've got the top 10 pick, you've got if there, I don't know if Mel's. Listen. Hey, look, 8th is Atlanta.
I'm just saying we would have 8. It's just for fun. That's all. Yeah, it's just for fun. I'm just saying you can talk about the 8th, the 9th, because you're definitely trading out of that one spot. You could,
bro. I don't buy it, bro. I'm not gonna.
I'm just it was just it was tickling my ears, right?
That dog. I heard it and I was sitting there and I went, what? And even Greeny was like, Mel said we can get the 8th pick. And it was like, I don't know about that.
Right.
But
you got one.
What I think what it is that no matter what, the decision shortens the time frame on what you can do. Right. If you trade Justin Fields, guess what? Your locker room needs to see immediate. You can't go through the process of we're developing this quarterback in year 1, and so 6 wins is acceptable. No, it's not. You got 7 wins this year. No matter who you pick, no matter what decision you make, Justin Fields, young quarterback, you need 10 wins next season. So you need 10 wins next season. Minimum.
They need to make the playoffs.
The thing
that's why I said 10 wins get you in the playoffs. If you don't get in the playoffs with 10 wins, I'm willing to live with that.
Well, if you do a rookie quarterback, you need to protect him with some running. And of course, some weapons for in terms of.
Well, let's start with the center position. Let's get that right. But
I know that we got it. We already know we got to fix the O-line. Period. I mean, I still want my left tackle. I still want a center, and I want Tevin Jenkins on the right, or if he stays on the left, give me another guard because I can't. I need 3 new linemen. Period. So this is an opportunity to really build this team up, and you got to do. I guess from a business standpoint, the issue is this: if Fields is that guy that's commanding a really $40-something million, and a year,
probably if Daniel Jones is getting more than 40.
They're averaging 40. I mean, that's a big cap hit, which is why you can't go to free agency like that.
Listen. No matter what negotiation you're doing, Justin Fields just walks in there and just has he should get a figurine of Daniel Jones, just a full statue of him.
It just depends on how the cap plays
as long as he don't go in and be like 45 mil off rip.
40 million.
Bro, it was 45 off rip. And then he's like, okay, we'll take 5 off.
Yeah, bro. He's gonna get paid. The second you saw Daniel Jones get 40 million, every quarterback in the NFL went, ooh. Tyrod Taylor was like, it's comeback season, baby.
I'm in the gym.
No, I look at the standard, and I think this is the thing. This is the standard that this team has set. Kevin Warren said something today that I loved, and it's really what won me over. He said, I'm impatient. He said, I force myself to be patient, but I'm impatient, and we need to live up to our own expectations. Our expectation is to win the division every single year.
Yeah.
That has to start next season.
And it's the sacrifice. Like I can relate to that, like personally, of like putting all that hard work in, laying the foundation, a lot of like in my life, some projects I've been doing. And now at the end of the day, it's like now I get to reap the benefits from this. The foundation is set. and if that's the approach, I really appreciated his mentality of like, yes, basically, I know you guys wanted us to get rid of Flus, but you guys don't see what we see. And what we're doing is that this takes time. Like you said, I have experience. I've lived this in St. Louis. We were not good for 2 years. And then boom, we hit in the third year. Like he said, I've been through this before.
Yeah.
So it's like, let's just relax and I'm gonna build this squad. Let's see. V-Dog, the question for Joel on the panel, since Ryan and Kevin ain't addressed it, do you think next season is a must-win situation for Eberflus? I think their expectation,
it's
expectation is to probably they have to basically they got to be what we thought they should have been, is a wild card contender, if not a division contender this year coming up.
Yeah,
not necessarily Super Bowl, but you have to be like, we got to be where Detroit is. That's what we got to be.
I would assume you're going rookie center. You're going and especially with how Flus was talking today, I would assume you're going rookie center. You may or may not go rookie quarterback. I don't know what you're doing there, but that would be a tough combination to put together. And you're probably, I hate to tell you this, Joe, a couple of years, you're probably keeping Braxton Jones because son of a hey, bro, you're probably keeping Braxton Jones because Poles talked very glowing. Now he did say, if I were to go out, he said, I thought Braxton's done a good job as a starter, but I'm willing to bring in competition. But I'm gonna tell you this right now: competition ain't a second round, or ain't a first round pick. Bro. That's not competition.
You're starting.
He's starting. Yeah, that's not competition, my guy. Yeah, I mean,
but that just means he's a swing tackle, or we'll find a position for him. People now, I've heard comments that Braxton is not strong enough to play guard. Because why can't we just move him in somewhere else?
It's different. You have to have your hands leverage, have to be different. You have to be a lot quicker. And he's getting beat. You can't get beat by the bull rush playing guard. At a minimum, you got to have the bull rush down. You can get beat on spin moves and stuff like that as a guard and be okay for the most part because you're going to run into somebody else. You get beat on the bull rush, that just means you're going backwards.
Steve Boyd, my guy Steve Boyd, saying that the center from Georgia is the truth. Yeah, so it sounds like there's at least two.
What's his name? What's his name from? He's absolutely right. Actually,
he's nice.
I can't think of his name right now, but Steve-O said Braxton will get destroyed.
I just threw it out there. The whole point is he'll be a swing tackle.
Braxton got Paul Pierce muscles is crazy.
Actually, you know what? No, he's just basically gonna be a swing tackle. Then that's all.
He's definitely gonna be a swing tackle, but I think the Cedric Van Pelt, shout out Baki, shout out Eric as well. Yeah, he a baller, bro. He's a baller. I'm not gonna lie to you. He's a monster. I would love to get him. I mean, probably high second round if you can get that another second round pick in there. But I look at the standard that the Bears are talking about setting for themselves, and to me, next season you can't be below it. This year you're below it. You need to be, and look, you beat teams that are at the top of your division. You should have beat the Detroit Lions twice. You just got swept by the Packers. You split with the Vikings. To me, you need to be going into next season and coming out of that season 4-2 in your own division.
Yeah, and I was gonna say too to Kevin Warren's points about him being impatient. I think it just kind of like energize them more and push them more to see what the Packers and not Minnesota, but the Packers and the Lions did, because it's like, okay, like we already knew that the Lions was gonna be, as good as advertised up until this point. But then, like, you see what the Packers did, and they got the youngest roster in the league. We should have leaped them already. So now it's like you said, I've been patient. The Packers beat us twice with the youngest roster.
Yeah.
Like,
but we don't have.
Like we need to get this going now. So I think that they're going to look at everything and evaluate everything, but I expect this team to come back with an attitude. Like it's like I've been saying all week. It's not enough just to have a coach. I need the coach to have the attitude like, hey, we're going to win this game. Like our 7 are better than your 7 that's on the field. line up, let's run it. Simple.
What the issue was is that we had some of the talent with a coach learning how to coach. And because if we had the talent, there were probably some plays that we get to win and keep. But because the talent wasn't there in certain areas, we know we have gaps. Like the team is still in the year 2 of the rebuild. We should be able to fill up this talent pool come this next off season. And maybe what we're seeing is that a coach is smarter that they gave him a slap on the wrist, like you got to do better, especially on game management. Don't send out a defensive tackle on the tight end no more. Other than that, because you did have the number 1 rush defense. So it's like that's what we're experiencing. So now moving forward, I appreciate that they say, look, man, we had a glaring hole. The offense was a problem. It really was. You probably stunted Justin Fields' growth. We didn't have a good running game. We had one of the poorest offenses, period. You weren't smart enough to out scheme your deficiencies.
Yeah.
I like how Dan Bernstein said you get a glimpse of something and then you pull it away. And the stuff that we couldn't do, you kept doing more of that. It's like
and you know what? That's my problem. And that's why I said, but here's the thing. It's to Ebony's point, right? There's 22 quarterbacks right now better than Justin Fields in the NFL. Unfortunately, based on the numbers, that's true. Here's my biggest problem with why there are 22 quarterbacks that are better than Justin Fields right now and where it puts pressure on the Chicago Bears in the other direction. Okay, you keep Justin Fields. You go get whatever else you want in the draft, rookie center, Olufashano, whatever it is. You keep Justin. Fine. I'm happy. I like Justin. I want Justin to be here. You have to get the OC right, and it has to show week 1 of the season. You have to get you have to get the OC right. And it has to show week 1. There's no week 3, week 4, week 5. He's figured it out. You have to go get an OC that walks in the door and says, hey, Justin, this is what we want to run. Can you do this? And he looks at it and goes, dang, I've been waiting for somebody to bring me this game plan for 3 years. Bet, let's run it. And he immediately becomes one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL.
Yeah.
I want Eberflus fired so bad with that first 2-3. Like that was egregious, man. You come in here and off season, and the first game of the season looks like this, and then you look like trash for the next 2 or 3 weeks. It is what it is. But I'm with you. There's no excuse because no one knows what they're doing. There's no tape on whatever the Bears did coming into 2024, right? So there is no excuse. Like we got to come out firing because. If we have the fact that having Fields playing quarterback now going into his 4th year, we should see some type of growth if they do keep Fields, which I hope they do. And then
I'm in on Justin.
Yeah,
no, I'm in on Justin, but you can't.
You grab Gesty?
You said what? Did anyone grab Gesty yet?
Listen, did anyone grab Gesty?
He's going straight back to the Packers. He's going straight back to the Packers. Straight back.
As soon as he get to Green Bay,
Secret.
My glorious mentor, I have failed you.
Secrets, agent man.
Never trust a Packer. And Lucas Patrick. Get him out. He ain't Lucas Patrick had never right neither.
I think the biggest thing though, even to you guys' point about the OC, like I just need somebody that's like when they get into the game, like, yo, we're gonna put up 25 to 27. Like, like legit.
We're gonna have days.
They got the run game. You got the number 1 wide receiver. They're going to add talent to the line.
Yeah,
they need a competent OC that's not only putting up 25 to 27, but not putting Justin in those situations where I think it was like Pat was saying earlier this week. He's coming out having a great first half. By the time we get to the 4th quarter, just don't screw it up. And now you're putting him in a position to not only screw it up, but now he looks bad.
So real quick, who do we like? Who's a preferred offensive coordinator?
My preferred offensive coordinator, I would say the number one name on the list, of course, for most people is going to be Greg Roman. I think that Greg Roman, I mean, what he's done with Lamar Jackson, winning an MVP, there needed to be more. But Greg Roman's also never had a DJ Moore on his team.
Hey,
He seems to be more run oriented.
Never had a healthy.
More runner.
He's definitely more run oriented.
But we need that in Chicago.
But what I'll say is this, and it's a guy that I don't know if he's going to get head coaching opportunities again or not. Go get me Cliff Kingsbury. I saw him work with a mobile quarterback. I saw him work with a quarterback. He's just a terrible head coach. He made him a
Pro Bowler. He made what's name Kyler Murray's a Pro Bowler. That's true.
He's just a terrible head coach. He's not a good head coach. He's got a great house though. Shout out to him and that house. That house lit that he was drafted from, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. That moment. But yeah, I would love to see the Chicago Bears go get Cliff Kingsbury. To me, he's at the top of my list for OC. Now I don't know if he's getting head coaching looks. Maybe he's throwing his name in the Alabama ring, which would be dumb. But maybe he's throwing his name in there as far as guys in the future. But you want to talk about a guy that is putting offenses up. Like we could sit there and we could talk about Lincoln Riley all we want, right? Cliff Kingsbury is a big reason why a lot of what happened.
But does Eberflus end up hiring his buddy?
I hope not. Frank Wright to me is at the bottom of my list. Frank Wright runs the drop back system. Not. I don't think he runs the system unless you're going to get Drake May. If you're going to get Drake May, sure. If you're going to get Drake May, sure, but you sure as heck better have protection for him.
Yeah. Hopefully we're just what I'm encouraged is that hopefully it's a OC that has experience. I prefer someone that's bringing their tailored offense versus like this is the hot coordinator that just ran the stuff that we ran in the room, which is pretty much what Gesty did. I was a quarterback's coach, and this is what we ran. Yeah. And this is the system because I don't have any other creativity to expand on this or do anything more than just run the system that I inherited. And what's interesting to me is Byron Leftwich. Is he OC? Isn't he kind of chilling out there?
Byron got a job, don't he?
I don't want that.
Oh, see, Kang, I'm with you, dog. He's T. Martin or Byron Leftwich for the younger guys. You know, I don't know. It's going to be a very interesting.
Byron at? Is Byron not nowhere? I thought Byron had went back to college.
No, I thought Byron was in Tampa. Yeah,
I know he was. I know he was in Tampa. Did he take a break though? I was just like Roman's got out of here.
They're gonna pull up his player stats.
Because Leftwich, man, that was he had some heart. That dude was tough. I like Byron Leftwich.
But you like Byron Leftwich, the player.
It doesn't it not translate?
I mean, listen, not all the time.
Dude.
Not all the time. Listen, we just had Singletary on the show, right? Like Singletary's coaching style didn't translate. His player mindset didn't translate to the mind. Now, Byron played a lot more recent than Mike Singletary did, but it's just, you know, like it doesn't always translate. You still have to know how to coach. You still have to know how to manage personalities. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. So I'm not out on Byron, but I think Byron, I don't know if Byron would be in on this situation. Is he coming? Because here's what makes it harder. Again, like I said earlier, you're coming into a situation where the head coach, by the way, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, 180 and here 50 likes on the video. Let's get that up to at least over 100 likes. Let's get at least over 100 likes, bro. You're in a situation right now where, let's be real, Matt Eberflus is in a no-win situation. He's got to win.
Well,
he's got to go to the playoffs. And to me, you got to have either a dominant regular season and lose in the first round of the playoffs, or you got to have a okay regular season and win a playoff game to keep your job going past next season.
Yeah,
it's not just about just making the playoffs. It's about winning.
It's about establishing a standard.
So what OC is going to come be with that guy?
Well, unless they're extending him, they gotta, because it's the Lovey stuff.
To me, if they do that, To me, just because I think it's a similar style. I want Ben Johnson, but it seems like from the way that they was talking, that's not gonna happen because I just think that like the Lions run the ball.
Like him
You got Amon-Ra for you got Amon-Ra. And then after that, you turn around and then he goes from Amon-Ra to DJ Moore. You got Cole Kmet who's improving. The line's improving. I think it'll be a good fit. He is a young guy, so I think he'll be able to relate to the offense.
You're not bringing him in. You wouldn't bring in Ben Johnson as the OC.
Well, yeah, the whole point is someone
Ben Johnson getting a head coaching job.
Yeah, I like Mike Celestine's comment. It's funny because he's right. Like Rivera, every time we want something,
bring back Chico, baby. Every time Chico show up, we go to the Super Bowl.
I think on the defensive side, it don't matter who we get in there. Like,
I think it makes it matters.
But it's really the offensive side. We know that the defense. Look, Eberflus won with a coordinator living in Arizona. The defense. He had his assistant Snow. Is it Phil Snow? So yeah, that's going to get better. And then once they get some pieces, like once they get, if we get 2 more or 3 more linemen, like another edge in our 3 technique, that defense is going to be crazy.
No, it's going to be crazy.
Crazy,
nasty work.
Yo.
Nasty work.
I'll say this before we get up out of here. I do want to touch on this as well. Pause. The one thing that to me there's a that has been overlooked out of this press conference that I think is the biggest news of all is Ryan Poles saying that Jalen Johnson's not going anywhere. That is to me.
I had that in my notes as well.
You know it, but until you hear your GM say it, you don't know it, right?
But you know what that means? That means they're believing there's continuity that they're doing here. Like they're all buying in. That's why I think they're going to keep Justin. It's like we think he can do it, and he's got another year to probably figure it out, and then they can move from Justin next year. Yeah. Like they're all buying in. They want to improve. They're talking about we're going to be in the playoffs and we want to win the division next year. We're not necessarily trying to start all over again. And the best way you could do that is trading down that first pick. But the fact is that you're keeping Jalen. They believe in that defense that they got. They're like, this is the core. So yeah. I think that they're trying to win now.
Yeah, but the flip side to that, the tricky part is right. You got about what did he say? Paul said you got 4 quarterbacks with first round grades. For 2 of those 4 guys come out balling, and Justin ain't winning games.
Yeah, this is a make or break year.
That's this year. Like, every year. First of all,
I think next year has the ability to be good, but there's so much pressure on everybody next year. It's going to be crazy, especially
if you get the draft capital. If it ends up that Fields isn't it, right? Every year, there's at least one quarterback. If there might have been a year or 2 where they haven't had quarterbacks. There's always at least 1 or 2. If we got to be in the sweepstakes for the next year, but because we stockpiled and got a couple extra number 1s and we can move up to get the guy we want, then so be it. But right now, this year is like our offensive line is dope. Our defensive line is improved. Yeah. We got a couple pieces. We might even have MHJ. Whoever we get, we're going to be better in totality versus giving up 1 pick to get 1 player when we can possibly get 2, if not 3 starters, maybe 4 in this draft by this year. Yeah, I'll take that.
And I think that's the thing, right? Like when you talk about the future, when you talk about stability, the stability is Jalen Johnson, right? You don't want to bring Matt Eberflus back. You take away his best DB. He's 24 years old. You can go out there and you can add to that. There are decisions that are going to be made this offseason that will shape the Bears for the next 10 years. And I think that's the main thing that you have to focus on. Ryan Poles understands the magnitude of that. Kevin Warren understands the magnitude of that. And so moving forward, what is that going to mean? And here's the thing. The one thing that I love is, right, when you look at the best quarterbacks in the draft this year, I'm sorry, in the draft. And when you look at the best quarterbacks in the NFL this year, and you look at the best quarterbacks in the NFL over time, it's not always the guys who are taking number one overall. In fact, more times than not, it's not the guys who are taking number one overall.
I was just about to say that.
So what is that going to mean for the decision that they're going to make in the draft? That's going to be huge. But the fact that they're bringing Jalen Johnson back tells me that they realize how pivotal this is, because Jalen Johnson was a DB that basically said, I'm worth more than you're willing to pay me. I want out. He went out, shopped himself around, all of that, and everybody looked at him and was like, we're okay. And I think that maybe, I don't know if it humbled him, but I think it maybe was like, hey, bro, like, maybe you should rethink what you got going on here in Chicago before you're ready to get up out of here. And then by the end of it, right, he comes back. He says, I'm willing to talk with the Chicago Bears. Now Ryan Poles saying that he's willing to keep him here. You're building something based on the logic of it. And I think that for the Bears, that isn't always the case, right? Like, we try to force ourselves to see the logic in things.
Yeah,
but he fits the scheme. I think the difference between trading Roquan, right, where who was a talented player, he sees the value in Jalen, but this defense has the potential to be even better than that 05-06 defense, because we didn't have a secondary like that then. We had Peanut, we lost Mike Brown, Nathan Vasher, who was the other the rookie?
Nasty work.
Who was the rookie? Who lost Daniel Manning?
Nasty work.
So the secondary was not good. Now we had a good D line to a degree, but we lost Tommy Harris by the time we got to the Super Bowl. So we're with what is it? Mark Anderson and Alex Brown with Tank Johnson, and then we had Urlacher and Briggs. This defense, we're talking about having 4 secondary players, maybe even a 5th with Tyreek. No, well, once we get a safety, because once what's the name's leaving, and we have 2 linebackers, if not 3, because what's the name, in my opinion, so Tremaine Edmonds is not as good as Urlacher, but TJ Edwards to me is as good as Briggs. But who's the other linebacker? Sanborn's way better than Hunter Hillemeyer. So the linebacker core is better. And then once we get our D-line right, geez, this defense has the potential to be amazing. Just like Tampa when Tom Brady snuck in and cheated and got his extra 7th Super Bowl. He wrote that.
How'd he cheat?
He didn't cheat.
He didn't go to the Jets. He didn't go to the other teams. No, he went to the best team, the best O-line, and the best defense.
Hey, listen, that team didn't make the playoffs the year before.
But he won.
Yeah, he won. That team didn't make the playoffs the year before.
Hey, what are you talking about?
Hey, listen. And he's the one that took them to the Super Bowl the next year. That team the year before didn't make the playoffs. The next year he took them to the Super Bowl. He ain't cheating.
Peyton Manning won with his noodle arm. Peyton Manning won that last Super Bowl they gave him. That noodle arm. They had an amazing defense and a really good offensive line. So the whole point is, like, we're going to build this team up. And once we get the quarterback to a degree can, definitely help. It's going to win games. But you insulate that with solid running game, a good offensive line, and a great defense. Man, we've seen average quarterbacks win Super Bowls.
Yeah.
So you don't have to be. And typically, most of these quarterbacks can't even perform that well in the Super Bowl anyways.
Yeah.
I mean, Mahomes.
Pat Mahomes had some nice Super Bowls.
Pat.
He had I don't think so. I think he had 1. It was not like.
Well, he's only won 2, Joe.
The Bengals.
Joe, he's only won 2.
He's been to 3 though.
He's been to 3. He's won 2 of them.
Right, but one of them he was really good at. The other ones was like struggle. I think the Rams when they lost
in the second one.
He struggled in. I don't think he struggled in anyone, but the second one he had no
tackles.
He had no tackles on the team.
Exactly. So the offensive line. My whole point is that you can, once you get the infrastructure, that they're trying to do this the right way. The Bears historically have not torn down the team and have not built it. And we have never seen, this is so unprecedented to have a number 1 pick last year, because they never had that since 70 whatever. And then to get a back-to-back as a gift. And now they could potentially keep stockpiling this. It's a genius move.
Yeah. I mean, I think at the end of the day, like just with this whole day and the press conference, right? I think for me, my thoughts on it is Ryan Poles never lied to us. He said, I'm going to put the right people in place. I'm going to give y'all a shot. If you produce, cool, we'll talk. If not,
Hey,
you
we
already
got to give a lifetime.
Hence, Getsy's out. Jalen Johnson stepped up.
Yeah.
I'm willing to talk
pay Cole Kmet. He's gonna pay Jalen Johnson here.
Pay Cole Kmet. Bears got the #1 scoring defense. The last couple weeks. I mean, hey, we
got building blocks.
I
gotta give a lifetime.
He never lied to you, not once.
I got to give a lifetime achievement award to Eric Christensen. He said, I've seen Avellini, Evans, McMahon, Miller, JF1 protection once and for all as good as the punky QB to lead us. Like, yeah, he had one of the best lines, but you see Bob Avellini, that's what, 70-something. Vince Evans was like 1980 to 83.
My dad's seen all of them.
Lifetime achievement award for that one. Long stuff
to have to deal with that. Hey, I have no idea, Tricky, why Ringo still has the glasses on. Hey, man, we appreciate y'all
because I'm in my house.
We appreciate you.
I can do what I want.
I love it.
I say.
I love it. Oh, man. We appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what to do, man. We're going to keep this thing rolling right along as always. We'll be back tomorrow on Thursday breaking down any more news that breaks from the Chicago Bears and anything else that we may see this team go out there and do. As always, man, for the super producer Joel Holt and the man formerly known as Ringo J. Stefan and Don. It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago.
All right, Breeze Nation.
Peace.